Okay, welcome to Unit 1 for our geographical themes and maps. Always keep track of this set of notes because they're going to be useful for bell work, worksheets, projects, and even the study guide before we have our Unit 1 test. First off, we ask, what is geography? Your definition for geography is a study of Earth and its peoples, places, and environments. Geographers study the Earth through how its people and environment interact with their space and surrounding places. This concept also emphasizes the idea of spatial perspective, which means that it's the Earth features in terms of their locations, their shapes, and their relationships to one another. It also includes physical and human features. Geography and spatial perspective are also made of landscapes and dynamics, which means landscapes are portions of the Earth's surface that can be viewed at one time from one location. Dynamics is something that's always changing. For example, like how rivers and mountains always change course and location over time. They can be carved out of the ground based upon water and its movement. Landscapes themselves are the way that we view like Google Maps, essentially. The 5 themes of geography are location, place, region, human environment interaction, and movement. These are the themes that help geographers better view and understand the Earth, and they even make maps using those 5 themes. Location, which is our first one, is where something is found on Earth. There are 2 types of locations. One is a relative location and one is an absolute location. So for example, latitude and longitude for Pierce City is 36.9 degrees north, 94.0 degrees west. That is its exact opposite location to relative. So its absolute location is those coordinates. A relative location would be kind of saying that Pierce City is close to Monette by 10 minutes. Place is your second one, the characteristics or features that help define a place and location. These would be like physical or human characteristics. So for instance, Colorado is flat in the east but mountainous in the west. Tells you what it should look like. Region are places that are close to one another and they share several of the same characteristics. So for instance, Los Angeles and San Diego are both located in Southern California. Human environment interaction is your fourth one, and this is how people and the environment interact with each other and how they affect each other. Those interactions can be positive or negative. So for instance, Pierce City High School is built on a hill to prevent flooding. Last one is movement. This is how people, products, ideas, and information move from one place to another. For instance, apples from Washington move to the supermarkets in Texas. When we also look at using globes and maps, we can see that there's a couple different parts to this, and we navigate those things using globes and maps. The 2 most common are those ideas. A globe being the most accurate way to show places on Earth because it goes around the idea of spheres, and those are the ones that are shaped like a ball or any sort of round figure because it shows accurate representation and not flattened out, which is what a map does. Maps convert the rounded planet into a flat representation, and it means that maps can distort those features because it is flat and not round. But they do tend to show more detail of places, like, for instance, the geographical outline of the mountains or locations of cities, everything like that. The second part here is the exact pieces of a globe or a map. Latitude is always listed on both of those, and these are the lines that run horizontally around the Earth that are east and west. They're labeled north and south, though, because of their measurement of how they go up and down from the equator. The equator divides the Earth in half for a northern and southern half, and the hemispheres on that are like a belt from 0 degrees latitude all the way up to the top at 90. Longitude lines that run vertically up and down go from the North Pole to the South Pole, and they are labeled east and west. This is operating around the prime meridian, which is around the idea, like around the area of Europe, and it is the 0 degrees. When you look at your globes and maps, you can also look at the idea of absolute and relative location, like we said before. That absolute location is the exact spot, so that's where we have our coordinates. Relative location is a description where the feature or the place is in relation to something else. So we talk about Pierce City and Joplin, or Monette, or where the middle school is on top of the hill as well. When we look at a map itself, it's got multiple parts that you have to know what to look for when you look at those maps. It tells you where the area will be that the map covers. Always first look at the key on a map because it gives you the idea of what symbols mean what on an actual image. So a lot of the time the key will have things of certain color or symbol or even lines that talk about, the shape of a county or the shape of a state, shape of a country, everything like that. The scale bar is also usually in the key, which tells you, amount of miles when you look at that map on how to measure things. The compass rose is also on a map, and that shows you north, south, east, and west. There are many types of maps, and the general purpose of these are all different reasons. The first one can be a wide range of information about the area. It shows human-made features like a city, or natural features like mountains or forests, but usually not both of them together. A political map is also one that shows boundaries for countries or divisions within them. These are made by people and not just naturally formed, like cities and transportation routes, which is what is at the bottom of this slide. You can see how many miles it takes to travel by boat, but you can also see the divisions of countries and the ocean labels. Next couple of maps here is a physical map. This displays natural features like landforms or water features. They show those locations, their sizes, and shape. The maps can also show elevation or how far above the sea level that something is. So for instance, in this map, the ones that are more yellow or brown are higher above sea level than the ones that are green. Next, we have a contour map. One line for each of the major level of elevation on this map shows how the land is at the same elevation around that line, but that it gets taller or smaller based upon the other circles. So we look at a volcano in this one, and it says at the bottom it's only 2,000 feet above sea level, but towards the top it can be over 3,500 feet. Last couple here are thematic maps. They show more specialized information such as plants, minerals, land use, and travel maps. They are historical maps, which show events that occur in regions over time, and land use and resource maps, which show the land's resource and commercial purpose. We also have climate maps, which show different climate zones, which is on the right there, and population maps, which are density per unit or volume. So the one on the left is divided up by counties all throughout the U.S., and the ones that are more red can show the change as a higher level, whereas the ones that are darker blue, green kind of show less. So how do we figure out how to make these maps, globes, and locations? Technology is our main source. So our geospatial technologies use electronic maps to provide practical information about the locations of physical and human features around the world. This allows for scientific discoveries to be applied and practical use for people and communities. We use technology in things like GPS, which we all have on our phones, and some of them are in our cars now. It's a network that's built in by the U.S. government and other governments around the world with over 30 satellites around the globe to send radio signals for use by military, government, or even regular people like you and me. We also have a Geographical Information System, or GIS. These are systems that consist of computer hardware and software that gather, store, and analyze geographic information and then display it on a computer. This creates maps, farming information, data supplies, and the environmental measurements. So it can tell us kind of like weather, or for instance, people who research things in the ground that may be buried from ancient times, helps them map that out. In the end, we can have many resources to figure out our globes and maps and locations, but these are the two main ones we look for. Do not lose these notes. This should be the end of it. Just make sure you keep them because we're going to use them a whole bunch in Unit 1.